This is an 8-ring. It gets its name from the figure 8 that it's designed from. And its design is so deceitfully simple and yet ingenious. This may look incredibly complex to perform, but the truth is, it's really no different than spinning a staff. It's perfectly balanced end to end. When you rotate the prop and move your hand in a circle around one of its endpoints, you create what's known as an isolation. So much of flow arts and object manipulation as a whole is about exploring this relationship between the movement of your hand and the rotation of the prop. Now, 8-rings takes that design and distributes it evenly between these two circles that are connected together. So now, when you trace that circle around the prop, it creates this floating ring effect. And what's really ingenious about this design to me is that so much of this prop's manipulation is simply about tracing the shape of it with your hand. But this is just the beginning of how far you can go with this prop design. There are other prop designs that take the design of the 8-ring and take it a step further. This is a triangle ring. This is what's known as a hybrid shape. It takes the 8-ring and replaces one of the circles with a triangle. Now you can isolate the corner of the triangle. It makes for some really amazing and unique effects that you can't perform with 8-rings. This is a diamond and ring. What's incredible about this prop is if you look at the center of the circle, you notice that the corner of the diamond cuts through that center. So now when you isolate it, you can see that the square is rotating on its corner. And this allows you to manipulate every single corner on this prop, because suddenly you can feel for the weight of that corner as you trace that circle. When you play with the balance between that intersection of the props, I feel like there's so much to explore there, as well as the relationship, say, between isolating a circle and the square. Even crazier than that is the closed circle. This is one of the wildest prop designs that I've ever seen. So this takes the 8-ring, right, and it blows up one of the circles so that it connects with it on the far end. And now, when you just perform a finger spin, you isolate the large circle. And because its weight is distributed across both sides, now the only difference is where the ring sits and where this empty space sits. So it really becomes a matter of learning to control this negative space versus this positive space. And there's just so much to explore here in how each side connects with each other in all of these incredible different ways. I was so inspired by all of these different prop designs 4 years ago that I even created my own prop. I call this an eye ring. When I perform an isolation with this, it actually traces that curve of the eye. So it transforms an isolation into an isolation of both a small ring and a large ring. And together, it makes for such really incredible effects that really can't be performed with these other props. So I feel like I've made such a contribution to this performance art. And it just gets even nuttier and nuttier the further you go